I was just reflecting on something and thought that I'd share it. I know a lot of people sit there and question where and how and why and if God is active in their life. Does God hear prayers? Does He respond to them? We see in Scripture that, we have not because we ask not. And I see in Scripture that, if we had faith as small as a mustard seed, imagine what we can do. These are common verses that come to our minds. But reflecting back on my own prayer life, I fully and openly admit that there are many times that I pray without expectation. Not that I doubt His ability, but I doubt that my issues are significant enough for Him to really bother Himself with them. But I was reflecting back to another recent time where there is no mistaking that He supernaturally showed up when I needed Him to. And I reflect back on the prayer that I made. It's not words, it's not length, it's the heart. And I reflect back on it, and it's in those times when, even though I would still say there was a good part of me that wondered, is this really worth God acting in the grand scheme of things? Maybe this is meant to happen this way, so I'll just let it happen. But in certain times like that, there was a part, a mustard seed of my faith that truly gave it over to Him and knew and trusted that He would act. And He did. And a lot of things come to mind when I think about this, not just the fact of how I need to do that more. There are times that I, say I give it over to Him, but I really don't. That there's this holdback in me. So these thoughts are helpful to reflect that I need to do more of that. These thoughts are helpful to reflect that He does indeed act in ways that I can't explain. And that's really cool and humbling. But actually the biggest thing that I reflected on was, what would my outcome be had I not asked? Looking back on these times where I know that I truly trusted Him, and I saw Him gloriously act, it's eerie to almost think where I would be right now, what situations would be happening right now had I not. And for those of you that call upon His name, I just ask that you maybe reflect on that yourself. Learn to expect, not just saying and conversing with God and thinking in your head, well, maybe you will, maybe you won't, I know you can, but maybe I'm not important enough right now. Maybe this is happening for a reason, and you know what, maybe it is, but My prayer wasn't specifically, God, do A, B, and C. My prayer was simply, the situation, Father, is yours. I can't handle this. And I know I can't. And not just that I want to give it to you, but I know that you will handle it in the way that is best. And trusting in that. And sit back and watch him steal the show and be amazed. Because he will amaze you.